So I'm going to give you a small background in 15 minutes. I don't think this is going to work because I could need longer. I'm going to flash past this one, who I am, and then you can see I work for Highfield Awarding Body. We're accreditation services, and I also am the auditor, the GCC auditor for IPATH for all the MUPs and lists in the area. Okay, so I'm an engineering background from desalination units. That's my primary roles is what I've done. And then I worked in the tourism industry. I transferred and moved into doing auditing, as you can see behind. And now I do root cause analysis and risk analysis and do stuff because I'm getting old and I can't do all the physical things that I used to able to do. I've been in Oman now for 25 years. So there has been changes and we are going really good and we are getting a lot better. I've got about 4 slides basically to do the sales bit for Highfield, and then I'm going to get on to what I really want to talk about. So Highfield, as you can see, we've got the qualification sides of what we do. This is all the different things. We've got the different products and books that you're all trying to buy from me, and I'm not allowing you to do that. We've got a massive e-learning thing now, which we're developing in the UK, which we want to bring to Oman. We have the assessments, and we have the part that I am in, which is in the international section. You've got the company got about 280 staff in the UK. It's got like some kind of major spaceship building that they have in the UK. It's huge, and we're in the top 5 for off-qual vocational training awarding bodies in the UK. So I'm going to just pass this sales bit because I feel my time is going to be really short. So these are the types of people we deal with. There's lots of them up there. We deal with lots of people here, and we have some very good training centres, i.e. Samara in Oman. So now my view is looking at young people coming into the work and how they are coming into work and what your expectations are and your view of a new person coming into the work, and then how we're letting them go to the front line and the risks and what happens to them. And after that, I'm going to show you the accidents with a real video and how that should be looked at from risk and everything. And you'll find it quite pertinent to what is actually being floated in the media at the present time to just a very recent accident on last Thursday. That is what we're getting as we get young. If we go back, this is our perception of what we have as a young person, looking nice, Omani guy and girl looking and that, but the reality is they are far more like that. I did try to find some better pictures, but I couldn't do for this one. But you need to see, they actually are, underneath their dish dash and their abayas, these are young, vibrant people with technology, they're savvy, they're really good at that. They're not like the old people like myself and some of you people out there. But what do they become after? And they become really us. We were those young people before, and now I am this old person with a daughter and son and grandson and blah, blah. So when we come into it, it's to get a feel. And these people are actually, when we're talking about health and safety, I hope there's other people that are in the room, not just from the oil sector, because health and safety is in every sector that you're going to imagine, and these are some of the job roles that I've listed that we should be looking at and where the risks are in what we're doing. So I'm going to start and maybe hurt or upset some of you where these what the key issues are for the employers and everybody like this. And these are the apprenticeships or the apprentices that are out there. Then when they go into these roles, they're not getting mentored. You do the training centre, they put them out there, you've got the funding body, you've got these people, one needs the money, one wants to get something in, but there's nothing now as in between guiding them. There is no assessment, no mentoring of these people going on in the training. The employees sometimes, not always, just think that they're a waste of time and a waste of effort, and that quite often they're being kept down for many different reasons. We all know the reasons why they're sometimes being kept down. They're given menial jobs. I know one lady at the present time, she's a Omani girl, she's working in a job. She works in that job. There is nothing for her to do for 10 hours a day. 10 hours. She puts her earrings in, and she's like that. You just can't mentor people and have them going through this out the other side, and all they're doing is just signing a bit of paper. The processes are not monitored. They're not monitored by a third party. And we need to start having a third party to monitor the student, the employer, and your funding body, or whoever's doing it. And this is, I'm going to lead on, the UK have now brought into their schemes, it's called endpoint assessment. And I feel anybody wants to speak about this with apprenticeship and developing more stuff like this now, it's brand new in the UK. It's been running about a year, but endpoint assessment alleviates that problem that we're facing in Oman at the present time. He says, trying to press. So here we go. And then the apprentices, we know, they don't think, they haven't got the awareness, they don't really care. What they want is, I just want to get paid at the end of the week and go home and go to my families. Because that's what they are, they're young. And then we've got the government. And I'm saying these are my feelings. Some of the guys out there, there's not enough people to do the inspecting around properly in a government situation, so they're hampered. So these are my personal views of what we need to do. So when we look at the front line, this was looking out of my friend's window at some scaffolding, and these are the dangers you're going to take these young people to and dump them in this out here. So these are going towards the accidents, what they're facing. If we could just see this guy, so you've just sent somebody out. I don't know if we can see. He's on glass. He's there. He's been held there by the man on this side. I don't need to say anything more. How on earth did he get that job? Why is he doing that job? Who's responsible? Here's another one, a guy working on a seated chair, ropes hanging down, all these people are walking inside. So if you're a new person and you've been told to go out and do this job, you don't know it's wrong. You do not know it's wrong. And there's more things that goes on. You can see here the wear on these carabiners here. If you've been told to put your safety harness on, clip in, and go off, you still don't know as a young person that it's wrong. And this one is for people, perhaps it would be it's a bit more harder for you to see, is here somebody has cross-loaded a carabiner, he's doing all the right, got the right equipment with him and everything, he just doesn't know how to use it properly. So who is at fault? The next video is somebody that is going to fall from heights. It's a lady. And it relates back to everything that Frank has said on the accident investigation using 5 Ys or a 5 Y tree, or somebody might use a fishbone or whatever they want to use. But I'm giving you this first. I'm giving you the options to look at these first before we actually see the accident, and then we'll go on to the accident itself. So we've got this person who's holding the rope, and then the manager, should the manager have stopped them from doing it beforehand? The company for not having the procedures in place to prevent it happening in the first place? Or the lady who's having the accident for not checking before? Now, there's one on here that I could have put on, but I didn't. It's should the ministry or the government body allow them to open to do this? Okay? I don't think so, because it's not their personal, but I don't think it's their responsibility. So was their equipment wrong? 5 minutes, oh my goodness. Right. Okay, I hope this works. This lady is on doing some adventure. She's working at heights. She's not working at heights. She's at heights. And she's going to enjoy herself. You ready? So everything seems good. She's got a harness on. She's got a helmet on. She's going. Oh, even more problem trying to get her up. She's hurt her back. Huh? If you think that's bad, there's a lot worse. You have seen nothing. And I go investigate those, I see those, I get very emotional, and I don't like to see them. So, what the next thing is, what should have been in place to do that? There should have been a safe system of work, which we all know about. There should have been an auditable train for all the documentation that is around anyway, for somebody like me to come and audit you and to do the investigation. The risk assessment, which should have highlighted those hazards at the start, would have mitigated that risk and moved it on, and we shouldn't have been there. Was there a training matrix for the staff? Was it followed out? We don't know. Was the standard operation procedures for this activity and including the equipment, was it there? Did they even know about it? I don't know. Staff should have also been, I've got a feeling that guy's never done that before, because he would have made that mistake twice, would he? He didn't want to go out there. I think like Frank says, you don't get up in the morning wanting to let somebody get hurt. And then here we go, your staff should be first aid trained. Another slight bugbear with me, go off, do it, get your certificate. Yes, I've got a certificate, and you have got no clue what you're doing. I've seen so many people going to these certificates, they get them signed off. It's for an office environment, because that's what you've got just to get past, to tick a box, so he's got his first aid, but it doesn't relate to anything like that work. And your first aids should relate to the type of work that you're actually doing. They shouldn't be just a bog standard first aid. Click, 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 yes, thank you very much. Do your little thing with your dummies on the floor, everything like that. No, you should make them relative, and it should be to the type of work you're doing. And staff should be competent at what they're doing. Really should be competent at what you're doing. So, when it goes right, this is a hotel in Oman. I do know their training. I do all their auditing, and I do their working at heights and all their auditing for this and la 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 la, for all the safe systems of work. It's a pleasure to go there. I feel safe. I would feel safe with my daughter, my grandson, or one of yours going there and them going up to that thing, because that's how safe they are. They are trained. If somebody new comes in, they are supervised, they are buddied together, they're not allowed to go out and do it. If there's a change of one routine to this routine, they have to follow this route. There's a stage plan to get them to the new one. They are externally quality audited. They're not in this hotel, but they should be on a program of nationally recognized certification. That's quite important. It shouldn't be Rob Gardner's program. It should be something that's definitely recognized, which I think we all do follow. And it should be supported with internal qualification. Can't see you at all. So the 6 processes, I've stolen this from the HSE out to the UK on their website. You can get this, it's not mine. So these are 6 steps for people to do. You should assess the new starter's capabilities. It's really important to do that. Your literacy and numeracy things are very important. We know we've got fundamentals, I think, from the languages and things like that. It's key to get that right, if they understand what they're doing. The general health. To doing my job, if you're working on pylons or something like that, you need to be the right type of person to be working at heights and to be able to think critically at heights or in an emergency situation. And that goes for when an accident happens, how they handle that last fall is very critical to the person that's managing it as well. They should have the relevant work experience. I'm going to flick through these. Here we go. And really, with you dealing with a younger person, quite often it's visually, if you ever do studies on how people learn and what they learn about, people learn in different ways from when they're younger to my age. So I like to read things, I like to get things a book and I'll read it, something, but a younger person is more inclined to learn something visually and audibly rather than having a book in front of them. Whoops. Okay, I'm going past that. So it's a quick roundup. Apprenticeships with good mentoring for learners is important. The buddy system for new staff is important. Put him with somebody that actually knows the job. Even if he's a grumpy old person like me, he will learn. And they might not be treated in the correct manner, but they'll be treated as a father to a son. And that means giving them a click round the ear hole when they're wrong. An introduction of endpoint assessment into apprenticeship schemes or any big schemes you're doing it, so you have somebody following the person through the whole scheme. And short vocational courses are really, really important. It doesn't matter if you've been and done your degrees or whatever, but if you don't keep things up to date and do some small vocational courses to do it, that also doesn't work. And I'm finishing up, that poor picture there with that guy, he doesn't look that happy. I don't know if he's not very clear here, but he's on here over here, you can see his eyes, and the reason is, he's sitting in a bosun's chair with a rope round him, he's, I don't know, 30 meters off the ground, and this piece of rope here is all frayed. And that piece of rope, he lets it through like this, and he goes down on his chair like this. So he's not a happy-looking guy. So this is me. If you need to talk to me anything about auditing for anything really, basically in the working at heights or the HSE side, or you need to do any courses and things like that with Highfield, then where's Samara? Go see there she is. Go see Samara. She runs some of the best high-level courses at the level 4s, level 5s, and all around this things for HSE. I don't say those things lightly, so you can do that. And that's me finished. Thank you.